Is it possible to learn social skills from a random person on the internet in just 10 minutes? That's exactly what I'm going to be looking at on Quora today, where someone's asked, what social skills can I learn from your experiences in just 10 minutes? Let's get into it. So the article starts off with a picture of a lady. This is how sociable we can learn to be if we follow the 9 steps just below, and we can talk to ladies like in this picture. Number 1. Never say no for any favour asked immediately to anyone. Ask for some time to think and later on reply negatively. So if someone asks me for a favour, I just have to say, I need some time to think about this, and then later say no. Well, why not just say no there and then if you don't want to do it? I don't know. Number 2, never share your secrets with the person who shares the secrets of other people with you. Number 3, be the first one to smile in a metro, in your office, anywhere. What if I don't want to smile? Having a little smile at someone might help someone feel a bit happier. Yeah, maybe I do agree with that one. The less you speak, the more curious people get. Oh, that's why I'm so curious about you. You never speak at all. So keep your mouth shut if you want to be interesting. I'll be honest, I don't think that always works. I think a lot of the time, if people never say anything, you kind of don't notice them a lot of the time, unless they're doing something interesting. Sometimes people who are interesting are the ones that just are quite chatty. Be the first one to initiate a handshake and make sure it's firm. Well, I've been on the end of many bad handshakes and it's all my fault. The guy's gone in to give me a handshake and then has probably squished my hand and I've lost all firmness whatsoever and I've given them a limp handshake back. I do try to give a firm handshake these days, but it's still something I mess up quite frequently. Don't interrupt in a conversation. Listen politely. This is something that sometimes I have a problem with, where if I get something I really want to say during a conversation, I might try and interject, like I'll sling a word out. I'm not thinking about it, I just do it. I'll sling a word out as to sort of imply like, oh, I'd really like to say something right now. Number 7, always keep your voice low. I don't know about that one. What if you're speaking in front of people? That is such a generic piece of advice, it doesn't even really apply. I'm not shaving this beard until I get 1,000 subscribers. Help me get a clean shave and press that subscribe button. Number 8, keep your mouth closed when you chew food. I can get behind that. Number 9, hold your significant other's hand whenever attending a meetup or a function. It shows the strength of your relationship. Well, I like my freedom. Oh, look, we've got a comment here straight away. It says, hey, what's the logic behind point 9? If you know the bond is strong enough, then you don't need to show it to others by holding hands or doing other things, right? Relationship is not something to show off. That's a good point, yeah. You're not there to show off being together to other people, are you? You're together to be together. So Sing Song says, sorry, I'll try that again. So Sing Song says, better to have 2 than 1 sometimes. I think when you show up holding hands, it sets a boundary with the crowd, saying neither of you are single. That's a bit of a weird thing. What, are you expecting them, like you're offended? It's like, why aren't you guys single? We expected to try and date one of you. It shows intimacy and commitment without having to put it on blast or get into an awkward convo later if someone was guessing at one and being single or not. Sorry, when I go back to the start, better to have 2 than 1 sometimes. What does that even mean? Better to have 2 hands than 1, like joined together? I mean, I have 2 hands. I'm thoroughly confused, so we're going to move on. Lawrence was responding to the first one, saying never say no to any favour asked and like say no later. He says, totally disagree. Tactical decisiveness is a valuable skill. Where are you off to? Amar says, yes, wasting the time and saying no is not appropriate. Quora D, I think that's how you say it. If you immediately say no, then people will assume you are a rude person. I read that wrong. But if you take the time to pretend you are thinking and then say no, people might think that you have a reason to decline their favour. I mean, I can sort of see what they're saying, but in another way, I think they're overanalyzing this situation way too much. So NR says, don't do any favour, then you will see the real face of the person asking for help. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Depending on what the person's like, you might see a different side of them. They might be like, suddenly become aggressive, or they might be like, oh, that's okay. You never know. Nick Gilbert says, another set of brilliant psychological answers from the TikTok crowd. Even a hot picture to demonstrate the immense wisdom on display. Wow, no sarcasm detected here. So Nick's got some rebuttals here. Number 1, nonsense. If I decided not to help someone, I might as well say no immediately. Number 3, smiling at strangers and refusing any interaction is pointless and shallow. Being genuine with people you would like to know or already know is far more important than superficial posturing. When negotiating, smiling and being overly friendly makes you appear weak. The vibe I actually pick up from the original poster is that they want to appear popular and liked. This is apparent in several stated points and constitutes bias towards a seemingly mild-mannered, friendly character as an ideal. I could count 1,000 times in my life where I've met a person with very little to say for themselves and I never went away thinking, wow, that person was really interesting. That's kind of what I was saying. Perhaps the original poster has been watching models. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I'd say most people are yes. 6. Interruption and counterpoint, when used correctly, keeps a conversation interesting, dynamic, and allows you to access details about what certain points of the conversation. Another fail here. Oh, I'd like to interrupt you. I don't agree with what you just said. Oh, I really agree. Yeah, I could see that happening. 7. Why on earth would I want to keep my voice low if the situation did not call for it? I think that point about keeping your voice quiet is just a stupid point. So let's move on. Number 9. Finally. Oh, so this is the hand one. If I want to hold my partner's hand, this would be done because I feel affection and love towards her, not because I want to show off how amazing my relationship is. Trust me, much of this TikTok advice is preferential, incorrect, and from a person who doesn't seem to have a great deal of experience in the real world. Why does he keep calling it TikTok advice? It's on Quora. Matthew here says, your point about smiling at strangers is a sad reflection of today's society. Just because someone has smiled at you does not automatically mean they are shallow or weak. So this guy with a weird code name, he's written out a rebuttal to each point here. So never say no, he says, a confident person will take a pause and answer on the spot. Sounds like a way to fuck around with people. You never say yes or no. I mean, I've got a problem with that, where someone asks me to do something, I'll sort of know, I think, I probably don't want to do that. And then I feel like I have to be like, I'm not sure. I mean, I do this just out of like my own insecurity in a way. Be like, I'll see, I'll think about it. And then I'll get home and be like, I don't want to do this. Why didn't I just say I can't? That happens to me all the time. So I should just, what I've learned from this person is I should actually say no more often. So rebuttal in number 2, never sharing your secrets. Spoken like someone ashamed on their dark side, like someone who does things they are not ready to accept is their true self. So the rebuttal to smiling in the office, in the metro or anywhere, if you're not happy, don't smile. That's what I said. Just because someone looks like a lamb doesn't mean they are innocent. People who smile for no reason other than to pretend they are happy are delusional and probably narcissistic. I would think that it's helpful to the people around you. I do find that, like, if I'm in the workplace and I feel like shit and my boss like gives me a nice smile, it does make me feel better. So there are points that are positive to it. It's not pointless. But yeah, if you don't feel like smiling, then don't bother. Number 4, the less you speak, the more curious people get. I mean, this one's just dumb anyway. Next. Be the first one to initiate a handshake. This is such masculine bullshit. Like you need to be a confident guy and grab and squeeze. How about just being confident naturally and not exercising physical pressure to ensure your even footing? Have an open mind, don't make assumptions. If someone needs a firm handshake, let them wave their dick at someone else. Yeah, to be fair, I've never had someone complain about a bad handshake. You just think about it afterwards, you're like, I grabbed his hand wrong. This guy I want to argue with not interrupting a conversation. Always keep your voice low. He says that's something he struggles with ADHD. Keep your mouth closed when you chew food. He says, hope that's obvious. Number 9, hold your significant other's hand. He agrees it shows the strength of your relationship. If people care about its strength, about holding hands, then you're truly wasting your time trying to impress them. Araminta says, post your own answers if you don't want your ideas shared. So finding purpose in chaos says, number 1, do not answer any call unless it's from your boss or family before 20 seconds. What? Number 2, do not lend money to anybody, even as a help or as a loan. That piece of paper has burnt many homes, destroyed relationships and screwed lives real bad. I think I'd rather lend some money if someone needs it, you know. Number 3, do not overshare. Do not tell everything to anyone in depth and in detail, specifically about income, savings, finances, personal stuff. stuffs and your family or partners, there are high chances the other person might use it for their benefit. Depends on who you're telling, really. I mean, I do like to share. I like to overshare. Yeah, and I could probably get taken advantage of for that. Number 4, do not wear your assets. You might be rich or living a comfortable life. Not all your friends or neighbours or relatives are lucky as you. Do not just wear branded stuffs or gold or spend cash openly in front of anyone. It has more of its own disadvantages than advantages. Can't really say much because I ain't got much to flaunt, so can't even get involved with that one. Number 5, if you're on a dating site and you meet someone and begin dating, the thumb rule, what do you mean the rule of thumb, is to give the basic, most necessary info about yourself, so that your info doesn't end up getting you in trouble. And do not lie, because it's highly possible that things that began on a casual note turns immensely deep for both or one of you. And I'm sure you don't want to lose the last chance of having your life partner when they know you lied. So what did we learn from that article? Let's have a quick recap. Never say no to favours. Well, we learned that people want to argue about that. They just want you to say no there and then. I learned that. If someone's asking you something, you don't want to do it, just say no. That's the opposite of what this person said. Being the first one to smile in a metro in your office ain't such a bad thing. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press that subscribe button. And when I hit 1,000 subscribers, this beard is going. I've been saving this beard for a while, and I decided once I got 1,000 subscribers, I'll get rid of it, and it will look quite cool. I think I was thinking of doing a little video where I have it like a half and half. I think it might be quite cool. So if you like this video and you want to see something interesting, sort of similar maybe, 2 videos will pop up. Have a little pick, click the one you think is cool, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.